Good day, viewers all over the world, wherever you are watching us from. This is USTV Africa. The program today is Uncovering Crime in Africa. It is a weekly enlightenment program during which we are going to talk about crime in Africa. Crime is a pervasive issue across Africa with varying form and prevalence in different regions of Africa. On today's edition of the program, we are going to do an overview of the type of crimes in the different regions in Africa. We are going to do this with special emphasis on terrorism and human trafficking in North Africa. North Africa is our main focus of discussion today. In North Africa, terrorism and human trafficking are complex issues. In North Africa, terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS operate in that region, exploring vulnerability and fueling instability in that region. Meanwhile, human trafficking networks, on the other hand, prey on migrant and vulnerable individuals and forcing them into exploration. North Africa countries like Libya, Mali, and Niger are the ones that are particularly affected by these crimes of terrorism and human trafficking. According to the report made available by the United Nations, thousands of people are trafficked across the North Africa each year, facing forced labor, sexual exploration, and abuse. However, efforts to combat these crimes are ongoing in each of those affected countries mentioned earlier. But more needs to be done to address the root causes and protect victims. One may ask, what are the causes of human trafficking and terrorism in North Africa, and why is it prevailing in the region of North Africa? The reasons are not far-fetched. Some of the reasons for the rise and reign of these crimes in North Africa includes political instability, poverty, and porous borders, among other factors. These are some of the reasons why terrorism and human trafficking is prevailing in North Africa. Do you know that these also have a consequence on the continent of Africa? What are the consequences of human trafficking and terrorism in North Africa? Some of the resultant consequences of terrorism are loss of life, displacement of Africans on the continent of Africa, and economic instability. There is no country or continent that can have a stable economy where there is a high rate of terrorism. Nothing will flourish of business of any region that is terrorized by terrorists. The consequences of human trafficking on the other side are forceful exploration, abuse, and human rights violation. What then should African leaders do, especially in the region of North Africa that is majorly affected by this crime of human trafficking and terrorism? As part of the solution to those crimes of terrorism and human trafficking in North Africa, African leaders need to ensure regional cooperation, intelligence sharing, and addressing the immediate and root cause like poverty and political stability. This can help combat terrorism in North Africa. To address human trafficking, North African leaders can strengthen border control, provide support services to victims, and prosecute the traffickers. For instance, in Libya, the International Organization for Migration has helped thousands of migrants return home to their country. While in Morocco, on the other hand, the Moroccan Authority has dismantled a lot of human trafficking network and arrested perpetrators. If other countries in North Africa take example from the Libya and Moroccan leadership, human trafficking and terrorism can be effectively combated in the region of North Africa. Briefly, having done this analytical overview of human trafficking and terrorism in North Africa, let us take a snappy look at the other regions in Africa, that is the regions of South Africa, East Africa, and West Africa. In South Africa, the most prevailing crime in that region is high rates of crimes like robbery and murder. East Africa. Some East African countries like Somalia are faced with the crime of robbery and piracy, while other countries in the same region like Kenya and Tanzania are faced with the issue of human trafficking. Finally, in West Africa, like Ghana and Nigeria, they are faced with drug trafficking, organized crime like cybercrime. Conclusively, it is essential to address crime in Africa through a comprehensive approach that considers regional and global cooperation. Thank you for being with us. Next week, Tuesday, same time, same station, we shall be discussing crime in West Africa. Our major focus on the next edition of the program will be the West African region. Today, we talked about North Africa. The next will be West Africa. Thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoy watching this program. We hope to see you again, same time, same station, next week. Thank you.
USTV, Unity Star Television, always ahead.